guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over an email that was sent from a subscriber. That's from a guy. He is a retired Marine, and he's sharing his story how he, years ago, ended was definitely one of the quickest engagements of all time with his fiancée after he brought her home to the States to see his family and him meet hers. And not only did he end one of the shortest engagements in history, he got some very entertaining payback on her when she crossed the line with him. And you're going to see just how she behaves on the trip home, around her family, his family, how she treats him, etc. And guys, you simply cannot tolerate BS. And you see that, you got to jump ship. End of freaking story. But you're also going to see that he didn't know her that long before he got engaged to her. And anybody in the beginning can be on their best behavior and put on a show. Which is why I tell you guys all the time, if you relationship guys want to get married one day, even though that's kind of crazy in today's world, you got to spend years getting to know your girl. And that way, in that time period, you can see her true colors. What she's really like once, she thinks that she's got you. Which oftentimes then reveals the true nature. Seeing what she's like when it's like traveling with her. Seeing what she's like when things go wrong. Seeing what she's like around her family, your family, all those types of things. And that way you can truly get the best idea possible if you want to continue and have a life with her. Because if you marry her too quickly and then find out what she's like, you're up the creek without a paddle. So it starts off, says SSM. I'm now a retired Marine, and back when I was young, a young Marine stationed overseas, I started dating a female Navy corpsman, Jane. After a year or so, we were talking about marriage. Smack! Now, I would never want to smack a Marine, but it's warranted. A year for goodness sake. I know you were young, and I know you know now, but good Lord. We planned a vacation to go back to the States together and meet and visit both our families. This trip hit so many red flags. We missed our original departure flight because she forgot her ID. Oh, for goodness sake. Come on, how can you forget your license, your ID, to get on a freaking plane? That shows you she's obviously a ditz. And disorganized, and not someone I could be involved with. I called my best friend and fellow Marine to pick us up back up and told her that we would schedule the flight tomorrow. She blew a fuse, like her world ended. Thomas, my Marine friend, said, "Shit happens for a reason." Didn't even complain about having to come and get us so late at the airport, over an hour away. We rescheduled the flight for a couple days after the original, and she was complaining the entire time, and had to shorten the overall trip because I still had to set a return time due to operational commitments. So, you missed the flight, and it's her fault because she was being irresponsible. And then you had obviously to reschedule it later, and she's bitching and complaining the whole time. Yeah, this sounds like a great girl to be with, okay? She can't even take accountability that she's the one that's the reason you missed the flight. Finally, we get on the flight from Okinawa to California. Next problem. Have you ever been on a plane with someone who constantly wants to get up? Well, yes, I have, and it's a pain in the ass. Well, she kept asking me to get things from the overhead storage. We get to California, and her family picks us up, and talking to them on the way to their house was pretty nice. They're good people all around and had planned a surprise engagement party for us. I'd spoken to her father on the phone previously. I was so tired from the flight and not being able to get any sleep that I was completely exhausted and couldn't stay up through the entire party. Well, you couldn't get any sleep and any rest because she kept freaking getting up or having you get up to get her crap in the overhead compartment, that type of thing. The next evening, I noticed that the kitchen was still a mess from the party. So I started to clean up, ended up giving the kitchen a top-to-bottom thorough cleaning, and as a thank you for the party. Well, that's nice of you. But interesting that it's a big mess still the very next day. So they're kind of slobs, which means she's probably that way too. When her dad woke up and was leaving for work, he said thank you. Jane said he cleaned because it was so dirty. I was mortified, and the worst was yet to come. Over the time we spent there, the real field temperature was over 100 degrees. We planned to go to do the tourist thing in and around Hollywood. Her mom said the temperature was over 100, and she didn't want to drive to and then walk around the city. Well, who can blame her? Jane again lost her mind and threw a giant temper tantrum. So, what a wonderful time with your fiancé. Forgets her ID, which shows she's irresponsible and an airhead. temper tantrum because you had to reschedule, a pain in the ass in the flight, giving you a hard time and making her parents look bad because you were cleaning up. And now she's throwing a tantrum because she's not getting her way with her mom and going, next flight, I'm out of here. I told Stephanie, her mother, that at that temperature I completely agreed and was like we can go when it cools off. How Jane treated her family was a complete shock and disappointment to me. Yes, and look how she's already treating you. And imagine if you put a ring on her finger, or at least the real ring, getting married to her. Still, I took her to see my family. Oh, God. Jane complained about every meal that my parents tried to make for her. Even when my father, Joey, made her something special because she didn't want the barbecue steak, everyone else was having. Before the end of our time at my family's house, my sister said something very profound. She said, I can forgive her behavior to mom, dad, and even me, but she treats you like crap. You deserve someone better. Hey, freaking men to your sister. And by the way, guys, if you go to somebody's house and they invite you to their home and they offer to cook for you, unless truly, you're a vegetarian or a vegan even, and you don't eat meat or whatever, and you eat what they give you. It's respect, okay? Seriously. She says, it was a smack I needed to reevaluate everything, and I did. I kept everything internal until we were finally back in Japan. Even though she threw another tantrum before we left Florida, originally we had planned to go to Disney in Florida, but the cost of repurchasing tickets from Japan to the U.S. on such short notice burned through almost all my travel money. More complaining from her, and her carelessness made you have to change your whole plans around, costing you money. Now imagine being married to this woman. We spent a few days with her family on the way back. After we finally went back to Japan, I was able to secure my stuff. I went off on her for being so childish and rude to her family, not to mention mine. Good job, bro. And you know what? I guarantee you she wasn't expecting it and probably not used to any guy standing up to her. I did break up with her at that time. Awesome. Okay, not sure if this deserves a smack or not. I did stay in communication with her, but she knew we would never date again. Translation, you were hooking up with her. You were banging her. She was now a side piece. Jane learned that she lost any girlfriend or other privileges with me. We will still hook up sometimes, but she knew I wasn't taking any crap. She was probably thinking, okay, maybe I'll get this guy back. Nope. She is a side piece, nothing more. He says also, this is probably not safe for YouTube to say and such, but I end up effing her best friend right in front of her. Then later, had to threesome with both of them. The end. So anyhow, guys, that's a good way to end that story. This is why, again, I tell you, this is a quick story. Take your time. There is no need to rush into a relationship, especially an engagement, and get married to a gal. Years to really see what they're like. And if you're foolish enough to just rush into things, go travel with the girl. Go see what she's like traveling with her. See what she's like with her family, what they're like, how she's like with your family. And better yet, here's a better idea. You really want to test to see what your girl's like? Move some fucking furniture, right? Get a couch and move the couch, up the stairs or something. We need to work on angles and everything, and do it on a hot day in the summertime. And let's just see if you're even speaking to each other after that. I've moved furniture with girlfriends that I've lived with, and let me tell you, that tells you everything you need to know about their character. Holy crap. And I'm not talking just one room to the other. I'm talking up the stairs and angles and all that type of thing. Oh, all these little things to see what she's like. So anyhow, guys, bro, good for you. I'm glad you kicked her to the curb. I don't know if you ever got married again after that, but yeah. There you go, guys. You got to do some serious testing. The women test us. We got to test them. And again, at the end of the day, who has the power? He does. He has the power. Whoosh, it's over. But I'll bang you on the side just to make you the side piece. I think it's pretty funny there. And obviously a threesome with her fellow naval, the other gal in the Navy or Marines, whatever they were. Good for you. All right, guys, that's it for today. Told you it was a quick one. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Let's hear it in the comments section. Do you ever have a situation like that where you're engaged or serious about a gal, thought everything was great, and then you traveled with her, or you went and meet her family, or something like that, and told you everything you need to know? Let's hear it in the comment section. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.